Welcome back to the channel, unless this is your first time, and then just welcome. On this How to Cook, I'm going to show you how to make basil from scratch. I don't know why they call it scratch. Basil doesn't make me itch. Now, if it was poison ivy from scratch, that I would understand. But basil, not so much. Okay, I gave away the key ingredient. It's poison ivy. Just kidding. We're using basil, and lots of it. It is fall. Basil does not take the freeze well, so it is time to harvest what you have and turn it into pesto. Now, the great thing about pesto is that you can make this and you can freeze it. You can store it and you can have it later. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's better than watching all this go to rot. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to harvest some of this here and turn it into a beautiful pesto sauce. Let's get started. Okay, what do you need? Olive oil, pine nuts, cheese, basil, garlic, and I like to add a special ingredient that I'll show you later. You'll have to stick around. Oh, I hate doing that. I wish I could tell you, but then you just click off the video. So you have to stick around to literally not fast. Don't you fast forward to the point where it says secret ingredient in the bar down. You gotta stick around. Come on, watch the whole video. Anyways, we need to turn this into pesto, which means you basically wash it. This has been washed. It's sitting on a towel. We're going to pluck all the leaves off, and we're going to count this out. To make this batch the way I'm doing this, you need 2 cups of leaves. I have more than that, so I'm going to be making a different batch, but I'm going to show you this batch right here, and the recipe is in the description below, including the secret ingredient. Damn it. I'm going to figure this out one of these days. Anyways, but I have a fake Pyrex glass here, and one of the measuring cups we're going to stuff in really tight. 2 cups of leaves, and once I have that done, I'll be back here in a second, because you don't want to see this. Come on, no. Real quick, while I have you here, this is important. If you get a leaf that looks like that, don't use it. Okay, back to what you were doing, which is waiting for me to be done with this in half a second now. And there you go. 2 cups of basil leaves, coming right up. Okay, you want to pack these down pretty good. And it takes a very large amount of basil to get 2 cups. Basically, all the stuff you saw there. We had our first freeze yesterday. I should have done this yesterday because it was already starting to get that little bit of on it. So you want to get this before the first freeze. And then you get better basil, but don't use the crappy basil leaves that are, there's a few here, and don't use the flowers. The flowers are delicious. Actually, what I do is I take the flowers and I go bury them in the pot, and springtime, you get new basil plants pop up. Usually, most of the times. But, if they're really nicely flowered like this guy, I don't know if you can see that guy there. That one, that's gonna do pretty well. So I'm gonna go plant that in the pot, and then I don't have to go buy more basil in the springtime because more basil comes up. All right, so what's the first step we gotta do now that we've done all that? Oh, by the way, make sure your basil's dry when you do this. You don't want wet basil. Nobody wants wet basil. All right, basil's going in our food processor. Do you need to use a food processor? No, you can use a food processor. It'll work just fine. If you have the fancier model with the extra processor on it, we don't need to go over that. We're just going to dump this in there. But no, seriously, could you do this? Okay, maybe they're a little damp still. All right, could you do this by hand without a food processor? You can use a blender. If you don't have a blender, you can go buy a food processor or a blender. And if that's too hard, just consider buying already made pesto. This is something where you kind of have to whip and do stuff, and a machine really makes this much more efficient. Without it, all right, pine nuts. This is a 1/4 cup of pine nuts. You can toast these if you want. Pine nuts are a little bit hard to find. If you can't find those, you can always use deer nuts. They're always under $1. Come on, you can find them under $1. Come on. I paid good money for that joke, and I'm going to use it every chance I get. Next time I use nuts, there's going to be a deer nut joke. Okay, I'm just that guy. Okay, garlic. 2 cloves of garlic. Big cloves. I have 3 because a couple of them are a little on the smaller side. That's the thing about this, you can adjust this recipe slightly if you have more or less basil. Your garlic's bigger or smaller, use 3 cloves. If they're giant, you can use one big one and a little teeny one or something like that. You know, just kind of adjust. This is more of a sauce, which is done kind of on the fly and by the eye. It's not like baking where you have to be precise and on the numbers. Okay, cheese. Cheese is like next to basil and oil and garlic and pine nuts. It's pretty much the most important thing in here. This is a combination of Parmesan and Romano. I grated this down from the big block and the whole thing. That will make it taste way, way, way better. I like to use a combination of the two. Can you hear that too? Oh, it's the washing machine. It sings to me, just me. Only I can hear it. That's what my wife keeps telling me. I think she's gaslighting me, trying to get me to go insane. It's good. It's working. But yeah. So, anyways, half a cup of cheese. Where was I? Jesus. Cheeses. That's where I was. I was in cheeses. Half a cup of cheese. Fresh cheese is good. If you're going to make this with the green tube of Parmesan cheese, just in the comments, just send me your address. I'll be over to smack you around a little bit. That stuff is not real cheese. Don't do that. All right. Now, what are the 2 other things to go in this? A little bit of salt and my secret ingredient, and then we're gonna drizzle the thing in there as we go. But I'm gonna show you the secret ingredient real quick. Grab the salt, and then we are making pesto. Hang on. Can you guess what the secret ingredient is yet? Yeah. All right. Squeeze a little lime juice, little salt in here. The cheese is already fairly salty, so you don't have to go crazy. Just a little bit of salt. I mean, that's maybe 1/4 teaspoon, something like that, 1/2 teaspoon, if even that much. It's not a lot. You can always add more. It's hard to take it out. All right. We're going to put a little bit of our apple in there. That's right. I use these lemon flavored apples and the sharpest knife I own. Okay. I have a lot of knives and I forget to sharpen some of them. This one is going on my list. All right. So we are just going to squeeze this into my hand so we can catch any seeds, because seeds, pine nuts are good, lemon seeds are bad. Okay. You don't need a ton of this. Just squeeze it like that, and there you go. Good to go. If you have one of those citrus juicers, the handheld dealy bobbies, which I do, just use one of those. A little bit of lemon juice. What does that do? It brightens this up quite a bit. It makes it very lovely. Kind of heightens the flavors a little bit. And as a bonus, if you put lemon juice in there now, you don't get brown pesto. Woo! Everybody loves that. All right, I'm gonna put this thing out as far as I can, so I have to reach out as far as possible because it's funnier. We're gonna put this on high. We're gonna drizzle our oil in. How much oil? We have 2/3 a cup of extra virgin olive oil. The better oil you use, the better quality pesto you're gonna get. So don't use the cheap stuff. What's the cheap stuff? Pretty much it. I'm just going to wipe this down, knock down the stuff that's up the sides, give it one more quick blast, and we've made pesto. And you have watched a video about how to make pesto. And at the end, if you stick around, I will show you an idea of what you can put this in. Yeah, that should be it. I'm going to grab a spoon real fast to taste this. Make sure we got our salt levels right. See if it needs any more lemon or anything. I don't think it does. But she should be perfect. She should be ready to go. Hold on one second. This is a pro move. I don't suggest this unless you're making pesto at home, and then you have to do this. And then, congratulations, you're a pro. Because this on its own right now, woo! Okay? Going in. Thank you for joining me on how to make pesto. That's perfect pesto. Nobody could tell me there's anything wrong with that. That is perfect. That is amazing. It's I love pesto. So there is a tad bit more. Nope, we pretty much got all the oil. I'm going to pour this on top because as you store this, I'm going to show you this real quick too. This is a bonus tip here. Before I get to a recipe on how to do this, it's not really a recipe. I'm just going to show you pretty pictures of something covered in pesto. Okay, I'll set that there. Fine. This has to go into an airtight container. The reason it turns brown is because it oxidizes. Now, the lemon juice is going to help with that quite a bit, but you still have to do one thing to give it a little bit of an advantage. We're going to put this in here. And I think the football game just came back on because I hit pause and it only pauses for a few minutes. That's fantastic. Can you tell I'm doing this on a Sunday? Because there's a football game on. Okay, that's close enough. OCD. This stuff is just so delicious. It's amazing. Okay, so we have an airtight container right here, not just regular Tupperware. Regular Tupperware sucks. It does not seal very well. If you turn it upside down, water comes out, air is getting in. This has a seal and the whole clamp thing around it, so this is designed for this. This is about as close to the top as you're going to get, which is perfect because what we're going to do now is seal this from the oxygen, and I will show you that in 1 second. Hold on. Final secret bonus tip here. Before I show you this on a delicious piece of food, is to seal this. When you buy a tub or a jar or something like that, it always has olive oil floating on top. There's two reasons for that. A, olive oil tends to naturally float to the top, and they put a little bit extra on in order to seal this. So just give it a small little layer. It will find its own level. It will totally seal that off. And now we are going to protect it from the oxygens, because oxygens are bad for basil. There. I made pesto. That's going on something amazing. You're probably looking at it right now. Maybe it's here. Maybe I'm just a talking voice over a flyover of amazing dish here. Hopefully. And if you like that, then you're going to have to subscribe to the channel and come back and see more videos. I thank you for watching this one, and I hope you have a good one. See you later. Bye. Pesto, I made pesto. See? It's terrible. I don't know why I'm gonna have to take that out of the video. My brain went, for a second. All right.